Well, good morning, everybody. Jeff Slakey here on the Daybreak Show, and we focus on Shelton now, presented by our great friends at Our Community Credit Union. And the city is looking for your feedback. We have two great guests in studio to talk about this. From the city, Andy Arness and Kate Elliott from Mall, Foster, and Alonji. Hello, thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having us.
Good to talk with you both. We've been mentioning this a little bit on the show, and the best way to go here, sheltonwa.gov, scroll down just a little bit past the News Center graphic, and you see, give us your feedback. Take the communications survey, and it's a quick one. Takes about 5 minutes or so. Andy, talk to me a little bit about the reasonings behind putting this out there and what you're hoping to get, and then we'll bring in Kate for some of the more detailed questions.
Yeah, so right now the city, we're working on developing a new communications strategy and a communications plan. That's something that we really haven't had before, and so we're kind of defining what that looks like. And one of the things that we're focused on is trying to figure out to make sure the things that we're doing, whether it's Facebook or mailers or whatnot, to make sure that we're communicating effectively. And so we put this survey together so that we can get some feedback from the community, so they can let us know kind of some of the things that they like, whether if we're doing a good job or if there's some things, hey, we'd love to, get some other communications in different mediums or platforms or whatever, so that we kind of have a heads up on that, so we can then incorporate that information into the plan moving forward.
Kate, tell me a little bit about Mall, Foster, and Alonji and kind of the background that brought you into this.
Yeah, Mall Foster Alonji is based out of Vancouver, Washington, and we are primarily what I would say is an environmental engineering firm, but they recently brought in a couple communicators, myself included, and so I've been doing all sorts of communications in Western Washington for the last, just about 10 years. And so this is right in my wheelhouse, looking at communication strategies and helping cities and agencies do communications and evaluate what they're doing and see if they can do it a little better or differently.
This is through SurveyMonkey, and that you guys have been using that for a while now.
We have, yeah. We've done several surveys, as you know. Yeah,
what's great about this one, I took it the other day just to kind of get my feet wet here and answer the questions. They're very easy to answer questions, open-ended questions at times too, and I would imagine, Kate, with the changing of social media and everything like that, one of the questions specifically is asking about the police department and whether or not they should have their own separate Facebook page, for example. We're seeing that a lot of folks in community want this type of access to these types of departments and things like that.
Yeah, that's what we're hearing, and that's what we're hearing internally too from the city. So we just wanted to confirm that assessment or assumption before we dive in and really make that change. So this will help confirm, or if the survey tells us otherwise, just make sure before we make those changes.
And it's good to, at times, I would imagine, Andy, from your perspective, who kind of monitors these currently, if they are separated out a little bit more, the mains in each department could maybe provide a little better answer to the public asking those questions.
Absolutely, and I think that's something we're constantly trying to do, is be more efficient and kind of streamline processes. And obviously, there are advantages to having everything run through one account or one person to kind of create that consistent voice. But also, it does create a bottleneck at times, just purely from time limitations. And so I think that's something we've discussed with Darren and the folks at the police department multiple times, and maybe giving some of those folks access a more direct line. Clearly, they could be a much quicker response and have the details, firsthand on certain things that could be a little easier and a little more accessible, certainly.
Survey goes through August 2nd, and then after that, how are things tabulated, and then before the city gets the information?
Yeah, I'll be sharing results as we get them. We've already had over 100 responses, so that's awesome. And then I'm working on compiling a report of recommendations, working really close with Andy and the team. And we'll share the final report with the council mid-August.
Very cool. Again, sheltonwa.gov is one of the ways to get through there. In the news center. Just below that graphic, you see other news from July 9th. Give us your feedback. Take the survey. I'd be remiss to not make sure that folks listening and watching put radio down on ways you get this information, as well as through our Facebook page and website. Well, very cool. It's a great way to get the public involved in making some decisions, having them feel like they're part of the process for these things.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Andy, good to see you as always.
Likewise.
Kate, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
And have a great rest of your day. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having us.